this. Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Oakland Raiders and the New York Jets. Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go on EA Sports. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. It's a 69-yard punt. 69 yards. Wow. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now. 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Leonard Williams was one of the top draft picks coming out of USC, and he's done nothing to diminish the comparisons people make of past greats.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Darnold from the gun. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Again, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again is Darnold. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Darnold now to throw. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his 2nd drop right here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the 1st quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air again, Darnold. Flushed out right. He'll run it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Back to throw, Darnold. That'll be complete to Breida. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too.
Everyone, you got 4 down.
Now Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 10-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Six, pull it high.
Here's Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Darnold. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On second down, it's Coleman. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
7 yards there on the first down screen play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Darnold. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Darnold. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. Third and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
On first down, here's Breida. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Mike 51. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
From the 50, it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now it's Darnold. And he's going to go down again. Maurice Hurst. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw is Carr. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 63 yards. Great run there, but it looked like they were going to have him for the stop. He was able to push through. They didn't wrap up defensively.
No, they didn't. All credit to the runner for making it happen, breaking through some contact and going a long way. But the defensive guys, when they watch this on tape, they're not going to be real happy with themselves. They had a great opportunity that they let slip through their hands.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Carr. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Well, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays. Because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And now the throw hauled in by Green. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? To throw is Darnold. He's got his man here. It's Green. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 19.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Oh, yeah!
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A safety with a sack there. LaMarcus Joyner. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw complete to Herndon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Darnold now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Open man is Higgins. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Red 80, 51. What's the run? They're running it.
Darnold from the gun. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Darnold to throw again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing now is Carr. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Darnold on 1st down. That's complete. It's Bell. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Darnold now to throw. A screen to Bell. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Again, Darnold. That'll be complete to Breida. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Darnold. His pass complete to Higgins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. this game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Switch.
Bell. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Bell. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jets will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They find some open field here. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Stop your whining.
Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Watch QB drop.
Here's Darnold. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, Darnold. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Matt Breida out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side with Bell. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Young lady, if you want the mic, watch the slant.
3rd and 2, Darnold. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Greg Zerline on for the field goal. A 20-yard attempt.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Carr, and that's knocked away and incomplete. The safety Marcus May in there on the coverage. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm trying to collect.
They'll give this to Bell running right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go, defense.
Now Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Max Crosby. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. From the 50, it's Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Malik Collins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw, it's Carr. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr now to throw, and he comes back with one complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And now out come the Jets. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abukum in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Rush in, rush in. Oh, lady. Kill, kill, kill. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
To throw is Darnold. And this one's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Now they got to get to the line quickly to try again after the sack. Carr going underneath. It's Coleman. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And New York set to take the field. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Now a first down carry by Bell. And some space here. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I
think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Mike 51, Mike 51. All day, baby, all day.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Jets will extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at Week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in Week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set on second down now. It's Coleman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
50 seconds to go. Here we go.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And it appears the offense is going to try this again. They've yet to convert the first 3 times on 4th down, but they're going once more. Now Carr. And this one incomplete. And all that remains is 13 seconds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Bell, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And Darnold wants to throw the football. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Ebukam in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Jets, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what?